The cops are behind me. I hang up with her. I call a floral place. I order flowers for this other chick that I was talking to. Right? This is no shit. As the cops are behind me. Now, I know where I'm going. I'm going to the lake. And there's a lake about 7 miles away from me. But I'm not going to speed here. I'm not going to break any laws. So
And the cops are tailing you.
they're right behind me. So I grab the bag and I take out. He had the 9 ounces wrapped in like a couple like the plastic shopping bags. So I take them out and they're just so I have one Ziploc now. So I put that in my pants and as I'm going around bends, I'm throwing these bags out the window so they can't see them. I'm going this way. They're behind me. They can't see the bags for them. So I'm getting real. I grab the deep ball. I put that in my shirt. I tuck my shirt in, and I see 2 cops right here. They block me off. Like fuck. So I stop, and their cars like this. No, I go right around. So I get to the stop street. Put my blinker on. Look both ways. Take off. Well, now I'm gonna go a mile further down the road, and now I see 20 cops behind me. I'm like, shit, But hey, listen. At that time, you're not gonna catch me. Again, and I'm not worried. I make a right on this road. I see the little lake, Malaga Lake. Pull right in the parking lot. Pull up. Get out of the truck. Get in the water.
You went in the water.
I jumped right in the water. Yeah, you can. That's on the internet. I jump in the water. I open the bag. I'm breaking the Coke up out of the brick, and you see a big cloud go by, and I get the bag, and the bag floats down. I empty the D-ball out.
So your priority is just making sure you don't get caught with drugs on you.
Yeah.
Apply for a HELOC with Citizens Fast Line and go from application to offer in minutes. And start building that special shower for Maximus in 2 weeks.
So why didn't you just throw that shit out the window?
Because they can get it. In the water, they're not getting it.
Okay.
So by this time, I'm probably 50 feet out in the lily pads in the lake. And every cop's out there with long guns. I'm like, and they're talking shit. And I'm just cocky and arrogant. I'm jacked up, hands up. All right, you got me.
And you don't know why they were after you to begin with.
I don't know at all. So, so when I get out of the water, they go to beating the shit out of me. Like they hog tie me. So the hands behind the back, feet tied up. And like I said, I was a big dude. Like I was jacked at times. So I'm like, and I got longer hair at the top, and they grab my hair and they're emptying mace. So one can empties and they're like, give me another one. I'm like, So I'm like, I can't breathe. I can't. And I'm like, I'm going to die here probably, But I don't say anything. They keep beating on me. I say, listen, I can't breathe. Like, I can't breathe. Because they're opening my mouth as they're pulling my hair back, and there's openings. So they take me to this little shitty Franklinville Police Department.
You're telling me you weren't fighting back at all with them?
I was handcuffed. I walked right out of the water like this.
Why would they just attack you like
because
this?
I ran from them. Like, you don't.
That's what they did?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And this is in 2004.
Okay. And then they take you to the little police station.
So they take me to the little police station. So I'm in there talking shit, right? I smell like straight swamp water. You know what I mean? I'm in the lily pads. I got lily pads hanging out my ass. And I'm hitting on the girl processing me. Like, that's how much I didn't care. So, because I figure I'm getting out. Listen, by this time I know all the good attorneys. I'm good.
And you weren't caught with drugs on you.
I don't have any drugs on me.
You're straight.
Yeah. What are you going to do? So they impound a truck. And I said, all right, well, you have $50,000 bail. I said, what's the fastest you ever seen anybody bailed out? Because it's a little hicks talking shit. You're not here in 15 minutes. You're going to the county. You're not going to process for the week. I was like, all right. Make a phone call. But what they did was, I had 2 cell phones at the time, one for work, kind of like real estate. They give me my phone back. So, me thinking I'm smart, I use my phone. It's their phone. I call, hey, listen, go grab 50,000 out of the safe. This is where I am. I need you here in 15 minutes. Call the girl. Yeah. Come bring me 50,000. They let me go, but they won't give my truck, but they give my phones. So I get to at this house. I was living with another girl, but I had a rental house like close to my office where I was selling real estate. So I go there. I was like, I better clean this out just in case. So all I have there is a scale and some steroids. Everything else is gone, and a couple thousand cash. Because I'm thinking they might come. If they put enough together, they may come get me. For like a looting or something, because they didn't charge me that at the time.
Yeah, what did they charge you with when you were processed?
It was like a couple third-degree charges and nothing
related to the original pullover.
Yeah, just the pull, and then they didn't give me a loot, and they gave me like illegal left turn and something else, like some dumb shit, right?
So you get back to this house. What do you do?
So I clean it out, like everything's out. Like I'm if we cut coke up on the table, I'm swifting that thing out. Like I'm clean, so it's clean. But I leave the scale. I had this big, beautiful scale. It was like this big, big industrial scale, which I left there. What are they gonna do? So I get my kids the following Friday for visitation, and at that time, I spoke about Michelle. Michelle had a son, and I was selling real estate for her. She's a good friend of mine. I actually sold her house because I was going to build her another one. And she was living in this house in Pittsgrove that I was living in too when my girlfriend wasn't at my girlfriend's house. But she lived on the other side, like we weren't together. And I hear, about 5 in the morning, I hear, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, shit. So I jump out of bed, and at that time I had a mastiff, but he was outside, and I hear him barking. And all of a sudden I hear a window where, poof, they throw a flash thing through my bedroom window. So I'm on the ground, butt ass naked, condom on the floor, right? Because I banged this chick earlier in the day, like straight scumbag. And they come in, like deep.
Who is arresting you? Like who's coming
It's
in?
the feds.
The
Feds, the
FBI.
and DA.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay. So again, I don't think it's a big deal at all
It's
because
the FBI coming at you.
but I think it's from this thing before because listen, at that point I barely touched anything once a month, drugs wise. And like I said, it just got to a point where this is what I did every day, So there was no paperwork there. Like I had another office I did the book betting in. So there was nothing at the house. A couple $1,000s in one of my suit pockets. So they're going through the house and they're tearing it up. So they take her out and her son and my kids, my 3 boys are there. And they take them out at gunpoint. So like, man, this is bullshit. Well, I always I don't like dressing up, but I'm always like put together. Like you'll never see me like in a Walmart, like in the white shirt and how some of these people go out to the store. I was like, had some nice t-shirt jeans on every time I go out. Well, they put me in sweatpants, slippers, and like a shirt that didn't match the cops thing. Okay, because they knew like I was always kind of put together. So again, they're asking me questions, but I'm not answering. I was like, listen, call my attorney, And I hear, I'm like, what is that noise? They're bringing a backhoe down the road to dig in my backyard. But they're in the wrong spot, like these dumb fucks. So I'm like, no big deal. Well, so the DA, one guy takes me, he's a fat guy, puts me back in the car. He's like, you want to talk about this? I was like, he's like, do you want to tell me about the bank robbery? I was like, oh my God. They tried to put this bank robber on me because I knew the guys that did it.
They thought you were a bank robber.
They thought, I say, I'm not stealing. I'm not, I'm going to walk in the bank 6'3", 290, give me your money. Like, you're not going to lose me. Like, it'll me. So they're like, but we know you know who did it. You orchestrated it. You're the mastermind. I was like, what you talking about? Well, as we pull down the road, we're going by the real estate office, and I see the feds carrying all the shit out of there. I'm like, ooh, that's not good. The computers and things. And it's Michelle's office. This girl has done, the girl with Michelle has never even seen drugs, gambled. Like, she's probably the most innocent person you ever meet.
Did she know what you were doing was illegal, though?
People had told her, and since I passed the background check to get my real estate license, she was like, listen, he passed the background check. He's good. And I'm making her money. Like I'm selling houses. Like I'm good at what I do. So she may have known, but she didn't know, if that makes sense. And like I said, she's never seen drugs. She's never seen big amounts of money. Like that's just not the world she lived. She lived in a bubble. So we're driving by her office, and I see him walking out with his computers. So I'm like, fuck. We go down about a mile, make a left, and there's a fire department. And all of a sudden I see like TV stations 3, 6, and 10. And I see those red antennas up. Like, all this for running from the cops? Like, what? We make it a left. All I see is half my guys. So they sweat. They did a sweep. They picked everybody up.
All the guys that were working for you?
I'm like, fuck.
How did they manage to get everyone?
Phone taps.
So they were tapping you for a while.
18 months. For 18 months, I was under 24-hour surveillance.
Do you know why they first started investigating you?
So they investigated me. Come to find out. So the feds originally were they arrested me. But the state had been investigating me for years and years because they would say, I got it from here, I got it from here. They put me into it. But when I got there, they said, what did they say? There was 16,000 hours of phone calls and because of the Patriot Act is the only way they got the warrant for me. One phone call So after 9/11, the Patriot Act comes in. The feds went as me as a terrorist, used that as a way to get a phone tap on my phone. And they did it for 18 months.
But what did you say that triggered that?
So I had one call. So I went into 7-Eleven, and this is when the burners had just come out. And I opened up, I buy a 70, back then it was like $70, because these 10 kilos never came up. Like, they didn't get here yet. So I called down there. It's like, yo, shit never got here. Like, do you know what's going on? Because I couldn't get a hold of anybody. That's all I said.
We were actually thinking of getting a Mila.
I heard they outlive most marriages. Not ours.
What I heard just
And they were just going through
I
all
took
the
the phone.
phones.
Well, I took the phone, broke it, put it in the trash. Well, the feds had a box at the time because of the Patriot Act, because of Bin Laden. They could pick up anything I was using. They had a warrant, a Roe v. warrant, they called it. They had access to anything I touched. So if I would have used your cell phone, they could listen. They could get this signal off of the phone. Like you said, this was analog before it was all the digital stuff. Now they could take it and hear what we're talking about.
Wow.
So that's what kicked it a whole off. So I was under 24-hour surveillance for 18 months. I didn't know it.
They were good.
I'm playing softball all over the country. I was in Texas. I see a guy and they're hitting. I'm going out and I'm getting some balls where home runs are hit, and I see a guy taking pictures. And I'm like, hey, what's up, man? What are you fucking doing taking pictures? Like, we're taking pictures of the paper. But they were taking pictures of me.
Isn't it crazy how the Fed just they could go on forever for those investigations?
Yeah.
'Cause they want to be bulletproof.
Yeah. And so I get arrested I get arrested and I see 30 people I know. And then I see Jamal, who was the other. He didn't do business like that. But so I know he's got his own shit going on too. So I'm sitting in the thing, and that's when Akon came out with Locked Up.
The classic song.
Listen, these motherfucking cops, this is no bullshit. I was in the fire station, locked up.
The fire station.
That was the central reception point where, they were taking people out, and that's where they're processing everybody. They took 10,000 fingerprints on me. They played Locked Up for 7 hours straight on repeat, like just wanting to kill myself. So, and then they're asking, you want to cooperate? It's like, no, I'm different. Nobody made me sell drugs. I chose to sell drugs. And I'm looking around like, I think everybody's good. I'm telling everybody well, then they arrested Michelle, who the girl I was living with. So let me real quick go back to Michelle. So Michelle and I were selling real estate. We did real well together. She was the broker, but I'm a sales guy, and she's the most honest person you ever meet. We had a piece of land for sale for $1 million. Okay. And she had people that flew in. I said, listen, I'm going to go, I'll sell it to them. You go with me as the broker. I was still fresh, but I can sell. So we're driving down the highway, and one of the guys says, he said, so how hard is it to get zoning permits and everything? And my first response is, if you know the right people, we can get it. You know what she says? Well, we just had people that just had lost that land because they couldn't get one. I'm like, Michelle. So I'm looking at it. I don't say anything. So we get back to the office. The people never call us because now they can't. We're trying to get them hooked, and we'll work it out, figure out how to get it. So I said, Michelle, we have a new code word. It's sunshine. When I need you to stop talking, I'm going to say sunshine, and you stop talking. She's like, okay. So she's crying at the fireplace. I was like, sunshine, you're fine. I know you did nothing wrong. They charged her with kingpin, same they charged me with.
So you were charged on the federal level as kingpin? It was federal charges.
First.
Yeah.
So my attorney comes down. He sees it on TV. It's all on TV. I don't even get a phone call. Now, I'm banging a chick that works in the process in the sheriff's department. You understand? I'm banging the cop's wife that was head of the investigation. And I didn't know it. He didn't know it because the people listening on phone calls couldn't tell him, because then he'd tell her. So I had a whole lot of shit going on the outside that nobody knew about, So they arrest her. They charge her with kingpin. And her bail is $250,000. This bitch she's never in her life. She doesn't even speak. But they think she knows more about me because we talk so much.
They're putting the pressure on her.
She never folds. Doesn't say a word. Nothing. They put a script in front of her. She wouldn't even read it. She had a very wealthy, luckily, family friend that came and brought $250,000 cash and got her out that same day. But in the meantime, her ex-husband came, took her kid. He moved 30 minutes away. So next year, she would drive down 3 times a day to see her kid, and she loved because of me, and she still never folded. So going back, they take me to a different county jail, and one of my co-defendants was a CO. Okay, so he's in one cell. He's crying. I was like, dude, you didn't do anything. You sold a couple $100 bags. Shut up. Like, stop being a pussy. We're talking through the fence, you know. I'm in Salem County, which is federal holding and state. They have it separated. It's like paramilitary. So I don't get a phone call. My attorney sees it on TV because on every news station, like, they got him, we got him.
It's huge news for a small town, yeah.
And 35 co-defendants. I'm on national news and shit. And so he's like, listen, bail's too high. My bail's $500,000 cash on. He's like, bail's too high. Chill out a couple days. Like, Scotty, I'll day. Like, I don't want to wait a couple days. Because this is the first time, like,
Ever been arrested
right,
in
and it's
jail.
still, right, and it's still not even like setting in. Like, I don't think it didn't bother me yet. Like, I wasn't. It's like, Scott, work on it. So what they do, we goes for a bail reduction, and like 2 days later, and what they do, they put me to no contact with my co-defendants.
So no Michelle, no one.
Nobody. So now these are people I talk to every day. These 30 people are like, what do you do? So I was like, all right, no problem. Whatever. So 20-something days later, I can't get bail reduction. I pay $50,000 for bail bondsman. The first thing, court comes up a couple weeks later, and the state went after the Fed to get it because powder cocaine and Fed, as you know, is like a sliding scale. First offender, white boy first offender, 10-year max. Well, with kingpin. State kingpin in Jersey is 25 to life.
Wait, so the feds weren't, there was no, this is
The
unusual.
feds wanted me, but the state wanted me more because they get a whole lot more time out of it.
I'm surprised by
So
that.
I
Normally
got charged.
the feds, yeah.
Yeah, no. So the feds max first offense is 10 years. State is 25 to life for kingpin
So how did you not fit into like what some of these other guys were going through?
because I was not cooperating at all.
No, but like you see like the guys that got life for cocaine and this and that.
So listen, so that's what's sitting on. So I have that. Then I get charged with leader organized crime, okay, and 20 other bullshit charges. So they just so they can throw shit, they're gonna catch me. So the state gets it. I'm like, Scotty, like I'd rather do Fed time because then they had the boot camp. I could have been out in like 3 years, and this is still only a couple months in. I'm ready to negotiate. Like, listen, I did it, no problem amending it, but I'm also not gonna give you. So the first offer comes 80 with a 40 from the state.
80 years.
80. Hold on. For drugs that people wanted to do and gambling they wanted to do. But the problem was I was giving loans out too. I had so many people that I didn't corroborate who they were. One of the prisons, I probably had 30 guards in there when you take loans or put bets in. They had on the phone call because they had all these phone calls and they wanted me to tell who it was. I'm not, no.
It was so intricate, the web and everything.
Right. So, and I'm not, so, and while I was in, before I got bailed out, I forgot this, I called my daughter's mom, Jeanette, who I was kind of with at that time, but she was my ride or die. I wasn't really there, but we were cool. Listen, I had hush mail at the time. I said, listen, do me a favor. Go on my email because I wanted them to hear the phone call because I gave her a bad password because after 5 bad passwords, my email deleted, right? That was one of the things back then, like, because that's how I got all my steroids and things was online. So I was like, listen, I'm on the phone. I was like, here's my email address. What I did was I went one down, one up for the password. So I knew after 5 times, delete. She knew not to even do it, but they were listening to try to get in. So the cops deleted, the prosecutor actually deleted my email. But these are all things I'm thinking in my head, like this is what, because I don't want you in my email, because my steroid guy from Arizona, we're getting $10,000, $20,000 a month from steroids coming in. Whoever can stay out of trouble, keep them out of trouble.
They couldn't just get a warrant for the email?
They could have if they got in, but they didn't. At that time, that wasn't part of it. But I didn't want them getting in. I wanted, listen, once it's gone, it was gone. It's like those iPhones, So so I'm out now, and I went and bought a Lincoln Navigator because they took all my cars.
So you get out on bail.
Yeah, I get on bail.
All your assets got seized too?
They took my bank accounts that I had, like $40,000 in the bank, nothing major. But I had like legitimate reasons because now I had paychecks. I was getting commission for all the real estate. And then I was selling, you're selling 1 or 2 houses a week. By then, it's just insane. That's when the market was sick. So I had like legitimate reasons. They didn't care. They took my cars. So when I bought a Navigator, like just to like shovel up their ass. Because I wasn't worried. Because listen, my first time. Like you didn't get any drugs. He got a phone call, and I think my guys are good. Like, I'm thinking. So it's about a month goes by, and I don't hear a lot, and all of a sudden I'm at the gas station, and I see feds coming down and state police. I'm like, they're coming over, and so I walked to the payphone because I'm gonna call my dad. At this time, I'm like, I think they're coming to get me again, and I'm scared that they use my cell phone. I go, they freeze, but like, what did I do now?
At the gas station.
Yeah, what could I possibly have done? They arrested me on a 4th-degree tampering with evidence charge because I told them to delete my email with a $200,000 cash-only bail for a 4th-degree charge.
This is a month later.
A month later. So what they're doing now, they're trying to break me.
Yeah.
So and I have 10,000 in the truck because at that time I just started going to play poker down in Atlantic City just to because out of the Borgata, when the Borgata started, I was running the book down there. Like that was the best place to take bets because all these people come in, they bet what they're playing cards. I take the bet, the game was over, either they won or lost. Super simple. So I had cash on me. They took the truck, they took the cash, did all that. So then I hired another attorney, a local attorney. My one guy was out of Philly, and because they say hire local, they get state charged, but I can get them dropped down. Blah blah blah. So Jamal is one of my co-defendants. He's the other guy that got a kingpin charge. He was the junior black mafia, but we didn't do business together.
It just tied in. Yeah.
Just because we play ball together, we share together, whatever. So the newspaper comes out that Rossetti's testifying.
And who's Rossetti and all
The
this?
kid, he's my right-hand dude. He was my number one guy that I was going to give the whole drug business to.
And why would you just give him the business?
Well, this was before I was given because he's just there. I didn't want it. Like I said, that's when, I wanted to just do gambling and real estate. I didn't want anything to do with drugs anymore. Like, listen, I made it. 32, this is yours.
So he flips on everyone.
Just can't hold water, right? But they put it in the newspaper, in every newspaper, the local newspaper and the Philadelphia newspaper. Why would they do that? So my attorney calls me. He's like, I don't care what you do, but you better take a priest with you everywhere you go because if something happens to Rossetti, it's on you. I don't care. If he has a car crash, it's going to be your fault and you're going to jail for murder. He's like, you need someone with you at all times. He said, they're trying to get you. So I said, I got it. At this time, I part of a little bar in Philadelphia, and I'm in my office. 2 big gorillas walk in. I was like, man, what now? I'm just trying to do. So I'm sitting at my desk, and I'm sitting back, and they come in like, Riley, we got to talk. I was like, all right. Like, where? I was like, I've never seen you before in my life. They're black dudes. She's like, we're, Jamal, blah, blah. I was like, okay. Like, Rossetti's testifying. So I saw that. I said, you got to do something about it. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what? So I said, well, let me, I don't think he's going to. I said, because I paid $20,000 for his attorney. I think his attorney would let me know. Come to find out, Rossetti took the $20,000 I gave him, didn't go to the attorney I told him to, went to another attorney to make a deal. The first day.
Wow.
So.
And did you realize the gravity of your situation at that point?
That's when it started getting real.
Like that you knew you were going to go to prison?
Well, the 80, I knew I was going to prison. And the 80 to 40, I said, I could have tried for that. Like, I'm not, because, life is 25. 80 to 40, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it.
What are your parents saying to you?
They're on my side. Listen, my stepdad, I talk about it, he was there every step of the way. He's like, listen, don't do it. We can do better. Anything you need, I got you. My mother was just crying because she didn't want her kid to go to jail.
What about your sister?
She was a parole officer at the time.
She was a parole officer. She's probably telling you you're a fucking idiot.
Well, she said that my whole life. So I did,
Yeah.
But, my whole family, they stayed strong. They had my back. They knew I fucked up. Listen, I told them I bought everybody dinner one night and said, listen, I'm sorry. Because I'm kind of like the caretaker of everybody, no matter what. When something go wrong, listen, I don't want to hang out, but if something's bad, call me. I'll take care of it and I'm leaving. So that's kind of like my personality. So mom was upset. Dad was like, you're going to jail. Don't take it in the ass. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. So I was like, I'm not doing 80 to 40. I'm not doing it. And, we're going back and forth. And like I said, and I'm back into my life now. I'm back into right now. There's no drugs involved, but I still got money coming in from real estate because of things I had on contract. So I'm still making some money. They had me tied up. It was hard to do anything without them coming at me, especially now that it was state. The feds dropped it to the state or gave it to the state. So the prosecutor was just a motherfucker. You know how they lie. Like half their shit was lies. So I got in trouble September 2nd. I was at my bar New Year's Eve, and Jamal walks in, comes in, shakes my hand, walks off. Yeah, I mean, no contact, but I didn't initiate the contact, you know? I'm sorry, it was December 20th. It wasn't January 1st, December 20th,
2004 or 5?
2004.
Okay. And how old are you? 32, 33?
32 still. 32. I just got in trouble 4 months before that. We got in trouble. He got out. We all got out. He got out he had $500,000 bail. They dropped it to 100. Imagine. So he comes to the bar. I shake his hand. That's it. I'm coming home over the bridge, coming back to Jersey and Philly.
From unexpected spills to everyday messes, the Ryobi 18-volt one.
I get pulled over. And now, if I wasn't being a whore, I was going to pick up this chick to take her back to my condo in Philly at the time. But so I'm going to she lives right over the bridge. I get pulled over. I'm like, what's up? They drunk driving test. They give me the whole thing. I'm like, and it's pouring down rain. Like, I don't drink. All of a sudden, cops they come up. Now they want to search the car. 4 hours on the side of the road, they're searching the car.
They know who you are. They gotta fuck with you.
So they let me go. I called her. I'm not coming. I go home. I go back to Jersey, actually, to stay at a house in Jersey. Next day, I go down to my parents' beach house, or my dad's beach house, and I'm like, this is weird. Like the truck scratched up, the navigator shirt is scratched up from the dog jumping on. Like, I don't understand. 3 weeks, three days later, they arrest me again for no violation, bail violation, and no contact.
And you're not getting back out.
So I'm like, oh, so now I'm in over Christmas. So I'm like, they set me up. They set that dude to shake my hand.
So he was working with them too.
He had to be. Because what else you stopping there, shake my hand, hey, we're going to be all right. How did cops get pictures of that if you didn't tell them you're coming there?
That or they were just watching you.
And they were probably watching because I went, the judge wanted to keep me or the prosecutor wanted me to stay in Jersey. The judge, he can go to, that's his business. He works in Pennsylvania. It's right there. We're not going to stop him that. So I get locked back up again now for the third time. Just for dumb shit. So then I'm like, I'm over this. I'm telling my attorney, let's figure out a deal. Because he said, trial's going to be 5 years away. He said, then we have 18,000 or 16,000 hours of phone calls. We're going to go through every one of them. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing that. And it's going to cost you $500,000.
And you'd be sitting in jail while this is happening.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm out. I get back out.
Oh, they give you another bond.
After 30 days,
man.
they give me back my $50,000, plus I had to pay another $25,000 to get back out. So I went over Christmas. I was in Christmas, my birthday. I get out the end of January on the same, so they reinstate my bail from the $500,000, plus they charge me another $25,000, whatever it was. So I do it. So I'm out. I was like, listen, let's make it happen. So they come with a couple of offers. Like, I can't do that. I'm not going to trial. Listen, I'm not. If it wasn't Kingpin, they knew they had me with Kingpin. And Rossetti's telling. So Rossetti got a second-degree drug charge, which is the max 10 years. He spent 60 hours with the cops and did told on me and all the people.
Your whole operation,
and
everything.
He still didn't get a deal. Same exact thing that he got charged with.
Wow.
What a fucking idiot, So I call him. So they come back with a 20 with a 5.
And what does that mean?
So 20-year sentence with a 5-year minimum mandatory. So I'm like, now I'm probably out in 7 months. The whole thing happened 7 months ago. So I'm like, man, listen, I can do 5 years and come home. I'm out. I'm doing it. Because listen, I'm guilty. Guilty as fuck. I did this shit my whole life. And so I called. They said they want some money. I said, listen, let them keep the watches, the jewelry, the money. They can keep that. Leave me alone. I said, but you got to make sure Michelle, she gets her charge. I'm not doing unless Michelle gets her charges dropped because she did nothing wrong. And now they're on this girl so bad, and she never says a word. So me growing up, listen, loyalty means more than anything. She could have read the script because my daughter's mom, my girlfriend, they all read the fucking script they gave them. My daughter's mom, who was, like my right hand, they picked her up one night and said, oh yeah, he had black trash bags full of cash all over the house. And, just, what? And I said, you never saw that. She's like, I know, but that's what they want me to say. I'm like, okay, so let me get in a couple more years because they told you to say that, you know?
Yeah.
I said, maybe there are brown grocery bags full of cash because when I pay people out, like from the gamble, I'll put it in brown bags and take it to them. It's like, they didn't want that, you know, so Michelle held firm the whole time. So like, you know, I had her, you know, so I said, I'm not signing the deal unless I see her deal signed first because they wouldn't even give her a deal. Now her livelihood's on the line because she's a real estate broker. She gets these charges, she loses, that's all she's done her whole life. So they said, all right, we'll drop the case on Michelle, but you have 7 days to make the deal. So it's a 20-year sentence with a 5-year stip. So I do a minimum 5 years. So 13 years, 6 months is the max on 20-year state sentence. So I had this open back door. So I was like, fuck it, give me the papers, I'm signing. I'm not cooperating. And you saw the video, like I just sat there and, you know, the prosecutor's like, since high school, Mr. Riley's been selling drugs, which was true. So you got me. I mean, you know, but he still won't like hammer it. I made the deal. I'm taking a 20-year sentence for something I should have a 5-year sentence for, just to get everybody clear. Like that way, everybody's over with because they're sending they would send letters to everybody they listen to phone calls, and like you know I had a lot of. Back then I'm running through these bitches all you know like it was just bad.
Yeah.
They all half of them got boyfriends. Like this is just gonna get worse. The longer I wait, the more they're doing on the back end to get.
So you want to get it over with?
Listen, I'm still young. My kids are gonna be young 5 years. So, and I didn't really know the whole thing, and that's what. This is awesome what you're doing here because if it teaches people, hopefully they stay out of trouble. But I didn't know at that time like what I should have done prior, or should have known. Like I should have known that 5 years is not guaranteed. You know, like you're not guaranteed to get out in 5 years. So, I get sent. I go to sentencing, and prior I pay the county. I know guys in there, so I pay them $10,000 to make sure I get to state right away because I'm not waiting a year. Sometimes you sit in county for a year.
And that's the worst. County's the worst.
The worst, right? And I want my own clothes. So I leave a duffel bag the day before I go in.
You self-surrendered to prison.
After my sentence, yeah, I walked in right, to the court, into the court, but I already had everything ready in the county for me, and I knew I was getting out right away. I was getting right to sentence. However, before I go to sentencing, right before that video, the double doors, they come and say, "Listen, do you want to tell on your dad?" Tell my dad. So I said, "What do you mean? Like, tell him for what?" Well, tell him we need you to write here, and they had this whole statement that he does something with his trust fund, his attorney trust fund, and this and that, and we'll cut you down to 3 years. You listen, I'm not doing that anyhow. No. So, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm sure. So I walk in, that's when I was like, fuck you, with the thumbs up. But I could have, listen, I could have just given up there. But again, my dad didn't do anything to me to put him in there. He's not going to make it. Like, he's 50 years old at the time. So I get to the county, and I'm seeing the guys, like, I get my clothes, and I had some Xanax zipped in the bottom of the shirt.
And this is freshly off a 20-year sentence they just gave you.
They just gave me 20 years sentence.
Yeah, and you're going in here still with the same attitude about hustling.
Oh, yeah, listen, and we'll make it. They put me in the cell. So Keith, the kid that told on me, he's in the same cell with me after I just got sentenced.
What do you say to him?
Like, my man, Keith, what the fuck are you thinking? But what they did was they wanted me to get them there so that I'm not getting out. They just kept giving me. But prior to going in, I took every steroid. I was a monster. I was 312 pounds, probably 16% body fat, neck out the ear. And when I was in the county, like, yo, how many years you got? And you got 15 years. Like, I just look like I've been there forever.
So you thought it was sick that you got this prison sentence, or?
Well, I knew what I needed to do, and I also kind of know how to fight. So I was like, I'll be all right. But